Hey, it's Aaron the host for Mobilereviews-eh.ca, and today we are going to do the review for the Spigen Tough Armor for the iPhone 6. This is one of the thinner cases that we've come across, which makes it a little easier to keep the bigger iPhone 6 in your pockets. It allows great access to your iPhone 6 inside the case, though it does suffer a little bit in terms of protection. Now, despite being sold as a tough case, this case actually isn't drop rated, so we don't actually know how far we can drop it. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been asking for drop tests with the Spigen Tough Armor, so, well, here we go. So, it's fine. I'm sure you could easily drop it. That was about a 4 feet drop. I'm very comfortable dropping my iPhone 6 in this case. Now, we did have an issue with the build quality for this case. This one edge is actually incredibly sharp. It's actually kind of weird because the entire iPhone 6 is not sharp. It's very rounded, very nice to hold, and then you put into this case which has this sharp edge. I don't know if it's a defect or not. If you guys have this case, let me know. I'd like to know if I've got a funny case, we'll say. Based on our time with this case, we gave it a score of 4.1 A's out of 5. Now, it's not the highest rated slim case that we have. That goes to the Urban Armor gear, but it is on par with the Spec Candy Shell at 4.1 again. So this is a very decent case. We like it way better than any of the Otterbox offerings.
Real usage, real reviews. Mobilereviews-eh.ca.
Now I'm going to spend the next few minutes. We're going to go over a couple of more features for this case, and I will talk about some of the key differences between the Spec Candy Shell, the Urban Armor gear, as well as the Otterbox Symmetry when compared to the Spigen Tough Armor. For the Spigen Tough Armor, if what I say in the next few minutes is enough, do check out the full review table that we have on our website. If you're looking to get this case, I'm wondering if anybody else is asking for it, don't worry, because there's lots of people who have been asking for me to review this case. Some of our viewers like Niner Hater, Sam Molina, Reynold Bernal, Solid Tweak, Rideout Gaming, and David Durr have all asked for me to review this case. In terms of design, the Spigen Tough Armor is a pretty slim case. In fact, it's one of the thinnest cases out there, but in terms of bulk, it's as big as the Otterbox Symmetry, but don't worry, it does handle better than the Otterbox Symmetry. In terms of build quality, the Spigen Tough Armor fits well together. The edges of the case are far enough away for you to install a screen protector without actually having to worry about the case scratching the screen protector off. Despite the fact that there is a sharp edge on the case, it does seem to wear very well. Now, Sam Simmons on Facebook did wonder how scratchable or how scratch resistant or not scratch resistant the back of this case actually is. So this isn't actually metal, this is actually plastic. So if you have a set of keys, and we're just gonna kind of do this to it just to see how well it scratches. And if you have a really sharp edge, the case does scratch. So that was a scratching from one of my keys. Now, I do have to admit that I just scratched up my $40 case, but I did this part of the video 3 times, and the first 3 times it didn't actually scratch it, so I would have to say it's pretty scratch resistant for this plastic covering, despite the fact that I just scratched it right now. Now, I'm not going to complain about the lack of drop protection, but I will talk about how Spigen uses air to provide shock absorption. On the case, they highlight air cushion technology, and from what I can tell, it means that the corners of the case are hollow so that when you put your iPhone into the case, there's an air pocket. It's probably airtight and acts like a piston that reduces shock. That's my best guess. In terms of dust protection, there is a cutout on the back of the case, which might let dust in. It's nice having the Apple logo exposed, but there is a chance that it might get scratched, like in our key scratch test. I will also mention that Spigen doesn't include a screen protector with this case. A little bit of a boo earns for that. In terms of functionality, I really like how I can access my iPhone 6 in this case. The biggest thing for me after reviewing a bunch of cases is that the edges of the case is actually they're very, very large. I don't get that with the Spigen Tough Armor. The edges just come off the screen maybe a couple millimeters. Now, that's nice for me, but on the flip side is that some people may be concerned about the screen protection. This makes the case less protective. So if you're thinking about getting this case, one of the things you have to consider is you're not going to have as much screen protection with the Spigen Tough Armor than you would, say, with an Urban Armor gear. So those are really the features that I felt are important for the... Oh, and I forgot. The back is really slick, but there are these plastic skids on the rubbery parts of the case, which prevents the iPhone from sliding all around. That's all the features that I felt are worthy of me talking about on a video. If you need all the details and how we score things, do check out our website. We've got the full review table there. Now, before I talk about how this case fares against the Otterbox Symmetry and the other cases, if this is the first time you're watching one of our videos, I do encourage you to click subscribe. We produce videos 2 to 3 times a week. If you like what we do, consider supporting us on Patreon. A lot of these cases we don't get for free, so we actually have to go and buy them. We're trying to grow this channel, so it's an investment I'm willing to make, but I think up till now, I've spent about $850 on cases. So these cases don't come free. We've got a bunch of free cases coming in. When that happens, I pass them off to you guys. Now, when looking at some of the other cases that you might consider buying for your iPhone 6, the Otterbox Symmetry Urban Armor Gear, this is the Outland version, and then the Spec Candy Shell. Against the Spec Candy Shell, we do like the fact that it doesn't feel greasy gross. Like the Spec Candy Shell, after you use it for a while, you know, you can wipe it down and everything, but it shows fingerprints, it shows grease, and it feels really icky in the hands. That sounds weird. Compared to the Urban Armor Gear, I like the Urban Armor Gear better than the Spigen Tough Armor. This is thinner. It looks cooler, I guess. It's a nice case. This is rated 4.3 A's out of 5, so we definitely like this case better, and all three of these cases are better than the Otterbox Symmetry. Funny thing is that most of these cases are actually $5 cheaper than the Otterbox Symmetry. My biggest beef with the Otterbox Symmetry is that it does make your iPhone 6 quite thick, and the edges don't follow the roundness of the iPhone 6, so it actually makes it very, very bulky, we'll say. A little more difficult to use with one hand. I'm Aaron the Ho. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'd be more than happy to answer them because I don't have anything else to do other than to make videos on YouTube. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Google+. Do check out the Facebook page. I try to pull in a lot of viewer opinions from there as well as from the comments. So if you guys want to engage with me, hey, ask those questions and I will most definitely try my hardest to put them into the videos. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.